What up, YouTube? We're making some mead. I'm going to start off with some of these caramel candies. I put the rest of what was in that bag into the bottom of the jar here. Then we're going to add some more stuff to it. Next, we're going to add, let's see here, this, and that. 2 cups of sugar. And you want pure cane granulated sugar. There's not a whole lot left in the container. I'll just pour it all in there. Fuck it. There we go. I say fuck sickos and fuck the trolls. Next, we're gonna add some cinnamon toast crunch seasoning, the entire container of it. What I'm making, YouTube, is a apple mead. And like an apple cinnamon caramel mead. Next, we're going to add honey to it. Got some local hive raw and unfiltered honey. That's what you want to use. I'm repeating the recipe from the last time I made it. For our mead, just dump the entire fucking thing of honey in there. Mead is basically a honey wine. One second. A little bit of cold water to rinse out the excess. Now we're going to add some apple to it. I have some Royal Gala apples. They're large Royal Gala apples. They're really tasty apples. If one will be enough, I might add 2 in there just for shits and giggles. That just happened. Oh man, hold on one second. I dropped the marinara sauce, it fell out of the fridge. I'll grab a napkin and clean that up. Ah, jeez. Man, I hate being clumsy. Anyways, back to what we were doing here. Grab a knife. And take the sticker off and the stem out of both of them. And we're just going to cut these apples in half. And then into four slices here. Throw them in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for our wine base, we're going to add some apple juice. This is Mott's 100% all natural apple juice. Before we add the rest of our ingredients, we're going to take our spoon and we're going to stir it around town. I wouldn't put the caramels in the jar ahead of time to make this video quick and short. So now I take all the apple, that cinnamon, and that honey and everything in there and just kind of, yeah, there we go. Stir that around, rinse off our spoon here. You want to leave some room for your turbo yeast to ferment. Because the key with this recipe is the turbo yeast, which is what's going to make it turn into a wine. So we're going to add just a little bit more apple juice to it, but not much. We can always add more juice to it later or water, so I think that should be plenty. That'll give us plenty of room. A little bit of room at the top, so it's got room to burp. Alright, so now we're going to add, last time I made this I did not add yeast nutrients, but this time we're going to add it just because the yeast nutrients will give it a little extra nutrients for when we put it in there. Just do a cap full of that. There's a cap full of the yeast nutrients. Throw that in there, just like that. Now my fans sent me some turbo yeast. This is the 48-hour turbo yeast. And one bag of this will make like 4 to 5 gallons. So we do not need a whole lot of that turbo yeast in here. Grab a smaller measuring cup here. Got a 1/3 cup right here. That should do it. This is from the Alcotech Turbo Yeast. And this video will take like 2 weeks to make, and you'll have homemade alcohol ready to go. But after like 12 days, we're going to filter it into a clean jar. That's a little bit under 1/3 of a cup. That should be plenty of yeast for our brew. Wrap that up. Now comes the fun part, turning it into homemade hooch. And take that cup right there and just boop right in there like that. Beautiful. Now we're going to stir it around one more time. Last time I made this, I didn't add yeast nutrient to it, but it still turned out good. This will just give it a boost of what it needs to do its thing. Beautiful, YouTube. Now we're going to add to the lid. Put it in there. Nice and tight. Then I'm going to fill this airlock up to the line right there with some cold water. I'm going to stick it in there. Perfect. Now I'm going to stick the airlock in there, screw it into place, let it sit there. There's a crack in this lid, so I'm going to add some tape around it just to be safe. I need some more of that tape. Where's the starting line? There it is. If the lid didn't have a crack in it, I wouldn't add tape to the lid, but this is just for security reasons. Make it, there we go, beautiful. In YouTube, we have our jar of wine ready to go. And 48-hour turbo yeast will ferment the alcohol in 48 hours. But if you give it a week, it'll ferment into like a 20% alcohol by volume. So like in 11 days or 12 days or so, I want to filter all the raw fruit out of there. And then into a clean jar, all that liquid in there. And put this in the fermenting closet. Oh, fuck yeah. I've had this mead before. It's pretty good. Booyah, son. Now I'll take you on a journey. Alright, there. And let that ferment and do its thing. All them caramels in the bottom are going to dissolve. I've had this mead before. Last time I made it, I didn't put yeast nutrient. And the yeast nutrient's not going to affect the taste of it, YouTube. It's just there to give the yeast a boost and a head start and extra goodness for it. But yeah, you give that about 2 weeks, and then after like 12 days, you strain all that liquid into a clean jar. And then let it age for like 2 weeks, and you'll have yourself some really good apple mead. Yes, sir. Those caramels will dissolve into that and make it really nice. Whoop.